Aremba lost it in the slot. St. Martin all alone, and he gets hooked up. Rebound, glove save by Huey. A spread eagle stop as he robs Thomas Mercick. That puck had goal listed all over it. Now, advancing to center comes Berg, right wing side over the Edmonton line with traffic in front of him. Spins and shoots, scores! In front of the net, Logan Peskett with his first of the Regina Pat as Berg spun around and centered it in front. And Peskett redirects home his second of the year. At the right point, Bridgman pokes the puck into the corner. Good forecheck by Anthony Wilson. Up top, one-timer scores! Slap shot goal for Tanner Howe. He's got his 15th of the season. Berg holds it in with his skate, throws it to the goal, and it's intercepted. Barnett shoots, scores! Braden Barnett. Vallis just outside the line, backhands it off his skate in front of Oremba all alone. He shoots, scores! Sam Oremba!
Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. November 26th, it's episode 153. How are we doing tonight, Kevin?
I don't know. After the week, I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll have to see.
definitely. Yeah, I don't know. It was a interesting week, that's for sure. We knew it was gonna be a tough week as a whole. I mean, all three of these games were kind of, whatever. We kind of just run through these, and we don't really have any interviews or anything. So, I mean, we'll keep it pretty short, I think. No point in listening to us ramble about a team that lost three out of 3 this week.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll give our thoughts and kind of get out of here, I think. Don't have too much else, do you?
Yeah, it's going to be a short one.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, we'll start with Medicine Hat. I mean, we kind of said,
Do we have to?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we were like, well, if the Pats give up 50, they might give up 8 or 10 goals. Well, they gave up 8 goals. They only gave up 35 shots. I mean, that's not the worst game we've seen lately, but I mean, Medicine Hat's good. They've got a lot of skill. And yeah, they gave up 8 goals. Yeah, it was just a rough one.
Yeah, and for some reason, I don't know if they get they play themselves out, but the third period's lately just been not the greatest.
Yeah, we definitely seen that in Edmonton. Red Deer wasn't bad, I didn't think. That was the best game of the week, most complete game out of the team. But I think maybe I don't know what the term is, but like maybe the coaches said, hey, let's get our crap together and play a complete game after Edmonton. Because really the Edmonton game, they only played about 20 minutes, really, the first period. And
yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
You've seen guys kind of just kind of going through the motions, I think.
Yeah, not hustling or anything like that.
Yeah, like it was weird. And I mean, you had a 2-goal lead, right? And it just seemed odd. But I mean, for them to come back in the Red Deer game and put forth a decent effort, it was nice to see. Obviously, they couldn't get out of there with a point or two, but yeah, I don't know.
But going back to the Medicine Hat game, they were down by 5. I know when you're down by 5, you're mentally destroyed. But they put up 4 shots in the third period. You don't stand a chance if you only put up 4 shots, no matter what.
And I mean, Medicine Hat isn't like, I don't think they were really pushing it at 5-0. They did score 3 more, so I don't know. Like, it is what it is. Like, we knew that the game was going to be tough, and it turned out to be ugly.
Very ugly.
Yeah.
But, what can you do?
Yeah, for sure.
Get rid of it. Forget about it.
Move on. Yeah, right. You just got to move on from that. And then Edmonton. I mean, okay, so you go to Edmonton after that, and you play a really good first period. Like, you score a goal a minute 50 in, right? Like, that's huge right there. And then just as huge. You score a goal 20 seconds to go in the first, right? Like that's huge momentum. You go into the dressing room up 2-0, and then just to come out and a blah second, six shots, just like the Medicine Hat game, right? 4 shots, like,
Yep.
and then the third was 7. Like there was just no pushback. Like after not pushback, but just not continuing that quality level of play.
Yeah, there tends to definitely ebb and flow when there seems to be a lot more lower parts of the ebb and flow.
Yeah, I don't know which one's low, ebb or flow.
I don't know, but it's the ups and downs. It was a lot more to the downside.
Yeah, so it was just unfortunate, right? And yeah, it was just I don't know. I mean, Huey comes back in that game, after giving up 5 in Medicine Hat, and he's kind of been a little bit up and down, but he seems to be able to come back and put on a good performance after giving up a few, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe he wanted that second goal back. Or no, sorry, that was Pine, in the Red Deer game. It was a tough one.
Well, the winner against Edmonton, Lajoie, from the corner, just kind of seeing eye shot that kind of snuck through. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe
but.
maybe I'm thinking of that one. Yeah, that was off basically the hash on the far hash. Like
yeah, it just looked like it just spun and shot it, and it just happened to sneak through. But
yeah, that was tough. Yeah, and then just the power play. I was gonna look up the stats on the power play, but it's not been good lately whatsoever.
No.
They went 0 for this week, and it hasn't been good before this week as well. So, it's not good.
But yeah, the third period seems to be their crutch lately. Medicine Hat got a little bit of momentum, or Edmonton got a little bit of momentum, and just kept on pouring it on. They scored 3, but the Pats got 7 shots. Like there's no bounce back. I don't know really how else to describe it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Edmonton scored those 3 goals before the empty netter in like 5 minutes. And it was late. Like it was 12 minutes, 15 minutes, and then 17 minutes. So it's like they were just the Pats were just hanging on, right? Like as soon as they got the one, you're like, because it was coming. You knew it was coming, and they got one, and then the floodgates just opened, right? Like
it felt like Edmonton was even on the power play for a while, even when they weren't on the power play.
Yes,
They got Pats just get hemmed in, and that's not all of them. It's not just like one line or one defensive pair. It just seems to be one of those things. They get hemmed in, and it looks like a power play for too much time.
Yeah, it was a unfortunate, tough one for them to see that loss, right? Like you get that win, you get 2 points out of 3 games. That's not the worst, right? But then you go to Red Deer, and you're like, okay, can they take it to overtime? Can they come back in the third period? And they just couldn't, right? It
just wasn't there.
No.
Again, 5 shots in the third.
So I don't know what to say. And like both the goals were turnovers, clear turnovers by Red Deer, like bad plays.
Usually that kind of stuff happens in a game you win. You get the puck luck, and you score a whole bunch, and it's just puck luck for 2 guys that aren't scoring a lot. Barnett's first goal since the second goal or game of the season.
Yeah, 23 straight.
Aremba's just having no luck at all. He's getting opportunities with just no luck. But no one else could get anything else.
Yeah, right. I don't know what did you say? Like, was it how had like he had 2 shots on net? Like, Howe's got to have more shots on net. Berg had none. Like
after having 9, I think the game before.
Edmonton.
He had 9 one of the games over the week.
He had 9 in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I mean, Red Deer does play a pretty tight game, pretty good defensively. Like, they're kind of down there in the standings as well, but they've given up the fewest goals in the conference. Like,
I think they're actually very underachieving, just like the Warriors. They should be better than they are,
Yeah,
and I think they're
definitely.
finally realizing that, and they're starting to get a little bit of a mojo. And Stoser is starting to play lights out.
Well, I think maybe once they traded Kelsey, they said, okay, Stoser, here's your net, right? They kind of were going back and forth, and maybe
Yeah,
finally you kind of say here to one guy, here it's your crease, run with it, and the guy's got some confidence, right? And he can get in a groove.
yeah.
I think
Well,
it's just that they're scoring. They lost some good forwards, like they lost King and they lost Baines lately, right? Like these guys that were putting up big numbers where you had that offensive talent as well as the quality defense that they do have, and now they just got to find those guys that just step up and score. Like they've scored the fewest goals, but they've also given up the fewest. Like
yeah.
so,
And I think Uchaz is underperforming, and the fact
Lind,
that Lind hasn't
yeah,
played in a month, basically,
exactly right.
with
That's
whatever an injury or whatever's going on, and he only had 2 goals coming into that game, but he didn't play. But he only had 2 goals, so
yeah,
they
right.
just
So
haven't found the scoring touch.
yeah, so I mean they're 5-3, 0-2 in their last 10, which is not bad. That's 12 points in the last 10 games.
Yeah,
And like we've been talking all season, like the conference is still, it's so tight, like especially the East here. The West
oh
is
yeah,
the West is starting to spread out, but the East is still pretty close. Like you go from 3rd to 10th, that's 7 points. That's it, right?
yeah,
You have a good week, you're up. You have a bad week like the Pats just had, you're down at the bottom now. The Pats are in
yeah.
10th now, so. And unfortunately, they've played quite a few more games than the teams right ahead of them.
Yeah.
So,
And
that's
going back to the Red Deer game, if the Pats would have played like they did in Red Deer against Edmonton,
they
they would
would've
have
won.
won that game.
Yep, for
Easily.
sure.
They would have
Yep.
won that game.
They played
But
2 periods out of 3 instead of just 1. I bet you they win that game. Like
Yeah.
a better second period, or you have a bad second, you come back and say, hey, we've got a 2-goal lead going to the third, and you put your foot down, and instead of just sitting back and just letting Edmonton come at you, right? Like,
And it seemed like in the Red Deer game that the players seemed a little more desperate.
yeah, right.
They were playing a little more with a little more urgency, like playing for their lives kind of thing almost. But they just couldn't find the back of the net in the third period.
Yeah, right. That was unfortunate. Pine, he looked good. He hasn't started in a while. So he had a pretty solid game, I think, except like I said earlier, this second goal kind of snuck in. The guy came kind of down the goal line and snuck one in. But other than that, I mean, I thought he played pretty solid for not starting in a while.
Yeah, and maybe it did them bad by picking a starter. Maybe it kind of changed the mojo a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows? Like maybe they go back to rotation kind of thing, right? So, I mean, I think you're going to see 2 goalies this coming weekend because you're in Brandon Friday night and then you're back at home Saturday. So that's a late night. So I think you'll probably see both goalies play this weekend.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about there about those 2 games?
News this week. Didn't Vaughn get hurt during this trip?
Yeah, so it sounds like he got hurt sometime in the Edmonton game. I didn't.
Yeah, they mentioned the second period.
Yeah,
I think one of the coaches mentioned at the second period he left.
Yeah, so he didn't play. Or was it? Sorry, was it Medicine Hat?
Medicine Hat, because he missed the last 2 games.
Yeah, so he got hurt sometime in the Medicine Hat game, and then so he didn't play the third, and he didn't play in Edmonton, and then they called up Braden Smith to
after
Edmonton.
After Brinson got hurt in the morning skate on Friday. So after going from a bunch of defensemen, now they traded Herman, and then they get 2 guys lost to injury. They got to bring somebody in. Now they got Smith, and
he might be here for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dante keeps on saying that Brinson's day to day, but we've seen some day to day guys be a long term day to day.
I know, right? Yeah, you first of all you release Plaisir, and then you trade Herman, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a couple injuries, and it's like, oh, all right.
It's like, it's not good.
Yeah. At least Bridgman's back.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see, get him back.
And he played pretty well.
He's getting a lot of minutes too.
Yeah.
Well, he did get his first assist in Edmonton.
Yeah.
On which goal was it? The Howe goal. Yeah. So that was good. Good for him.
Yeah.
And then then he had one go off his skate in Red Deer. That's another thing. Like there's some bad luck there. I guess the other way, right? They got some good luck on their goals and bad luck on the goals against. Like it was going, across the crease, and it goes off his skate,
way wide,
right? And like it was
wide.
posted in, like it wasn't even like in the middle of the net. It just barely squeaked in.
Yeah.
I just thought of that, but like, oh man, just unlucky there, right? Anyways, so
For sure.
back to the roster news. Like, yeah, so Smith might be here a little bit, right?
Yeah.
See what
I
happens.
guess I'm sure they'll reevaluate Brinson, and they don't play until Friday, so they have a few days for him to them to get figured out if it's not serious or nothing. So
yeah, and the weekly report might be out by Friday, so who knows?
maybe of
If
next
not,
week.
We'll get the game notes on Friday. Yeah, we'll get the game notes on Friday, so there'll be some sort of update in the game notes, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. They'll Dante's pretty good with that stuff.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, back to Vaughn, like week to week, like that's unfortunate, right? So that's obviously he's going to be out a while.
Yeah, and he was like pretty much the top pairing defenseman.
Yeah, he's really
really stepped it up, and it's not good for him, especially draft year.
Yeah,
where he might get drafted, maybe not. Like it's hard to say. He's on the watch list or whatever, and gets dinged up, and week to week could be a week or two or multiple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. What else you got there? You had anything else?
Drew Sim.
Okay. Yep.
Is no longer a Pat because he got healthy, and then they had to do a roster move, and they had to let him go, and wish him all the best. Good luck to him wherever he ends up. Cleared WHL waivers, and now probably go play Junior A if he decides to continue on.
Wherever he wants, basically, or whoever will pick him up.
He's a free agent as far as I understand. So
yeah, I think so. It's unfortunate. We talked about it. Will he stick around? Will they make a move with a D-man?
Well, I'm sure they might still do that because the team is one of the oldest teams in the league, and they're not.
Yeah, no,
they're not playing well defensively. They need to get younger. I know Miller wants to get bigger and younger, and having 3 20s on defense, especially when you lose potentially two defensemen, they're going to have to do something for sure.
Well, yeah, like obviously they're not going to move a D-man and not get a D-man in return. Like they're obviously at this point, they're a little bit slim on D-men, but
they're a little bit. Yeah, well, maybe this is the time to bring some of the young kids in, like Mann and LaPlante. Might as well,
well, yeah, right. Like,
give them a chance.
They can only be here for a little bit, though, right? So
yeah. Well, if there's injuries and stuff like that, well, maybe they can. Yeah. Maybe they can do something. Like they were able to keep Kuzma for 6 games because they got the exceptional status or whatever they got for him.
Yeah,
permission.
Right. LaPlante and Smith, right? So those are the 16. So those guys can be here as long as they want them. Yeah. Right. So Mann and Deschamps, those guys probably won't be here unless there's a real issue per se.
Or they just want to give them a chance because if the season is a complete write-off later on, give them a chance. But
yeah, I'm sure they'll be up. Like if they're out early and the Pats are still playing, they'll be here for sure. I think.
And hopefully Deschamps has grown up a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully
because he's a little teeny.
Yeah. Something else I was gonna say about roster news. Can't remember now, but anyways,
it was good to hear from Whitehead on the last broadcast.
That's what it was. Yeah, Whitehead. Yeah,
it sounds really good. Doesn't sound like he's got his face wire shut anymore. So
yeah,
he didn't sound like a ventriloquist or anything like that. So
yeah, and he said he's got a meeting with the surgeon on the 3rd, I think it is, 2nd or 3rd of December. Yeah. So he's kind of going to get an update there. So I think they'll know more at that point. So yeah, maybe, within a month or less. He's still I don't know what his status is.
They say 6 to 8 weeks, but the way it sounds, it's probably going to be sooner than that. But
yeah, maybe 6
weeks. I guess it all depends on how the doctor goes.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get an update in a couple of weeks here of a closer timetable.
Yeah,
on him. Yeah, that was who I was thinking about. Yeah, because they did an interview, or Dante did an interview with him. He was
live interview. He was in the booth.
He's with the team. He said he'd gone home for a while, and then now he's back with the team. So
good to get away and heal up. Didn't want to be didn't want to be a burden or whatever. And he's already talked about wearing the bubble, the Connor Bedard bubble. He's not going to wear a cage.
Yeah,
got to bring up Connor Bedard.
Yeah,
and the Pats have really struggled without him in the lineup. He's missed they've won 3 games since he's been out of the lineup.
Wow,
he played the first 12 games of the season, had 7 goals. He still is second in the team in goals.
Yeah,
and he's missed 14 games or whatever.
Yeah, almost half the games, right?
Yeah, it's that's not going to cut it. You can see why they're struggling. They're not getting enough goals, especially lately. Not enough goals.
Yeah,
and allowing way too many.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think this team is as bad as it is right now. I mean, they probably overachieved a bit at the start, but I think they're underachieving now. So they got to kind of find that middle ground, right? Like, it's been tough, and that power play. Like, that's the thing. Like, power play, you got to score in the power play. You got that man advantage. You should, I'm not saying you got to score 2 or 3 every night, but you got to get one. If you're getting a few chances, you got to get one, right? Like,
at least if you have a 2-minute power play, at least have a power play for 2 minutes and not 37 seconds because they lose the puck every second possession.
That last one in Edmonton, like right at the, or was it? Sorry, Red Deer.
Red Deer at the end.
Right at the end, like they actually controlled the puck in the zone, but we were chatting about it. We're like, yeah, but they didn't get a chance. They didn't have a shot. I don't know if they even had a shot on net until the one after the buzzer. Like,
pretty much, I think they might have had one earlier, but it wasn't a good scoring opportunity or anything like that.
No, they didn't. They're not generating quality chances on the power play, right?
No.
Like, that's the problem. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, that's what these coaches get paid to do, right? They gotta find what's up and kind of get these guys going again.
And it was weird having Dante's like, oh yeah, there's 4 coaches on the bench. I was like, 4 coaches? Since when do we have 4 coaches? Tristan Fry was on the bench.
Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's played some good hockey. He's a hockey guy, right? So, I mean, they're just trying whatever.
Yes, he would. He was on the trip, so he might as well go down and try to maybe instill some advice or something.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a little bit of input, maybe in practices and stuff.
And he did play for the Cougars, and the Cougars aren't much of a winning organization. So
and he played with Melville before that, I remember.
Yeah,
and I don't know what his stats were, but
yeah,
I mean, another voice. I don't know.
Maybe too many voices.
I would say, is that a bad thing or a good thing? I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know what Landon Watson's hockey background was, but I don't think he was.
He wasn't on the ice or anything like that.
Yeah, he was more of an off-ice kind of guy.
He was the analytics type stuff and making phone calls for things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. And where Tristan Fry, he's a hockey guy, right? So,
yeah.
So, but.
And I think they have a different guy doing analytics, so I don't even know for sure what Tristan's doing other than now being on the bench.
Yeah, right. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else.
Oh, you're not going to give yourself a shout out for being on the Access broadcast?
Well, we talked about it last week, saying.
No, but you were on it. So how was it this time?
It went all right. I thought you said it turned out okay. So
it sounded all right. Looked okay.
Yeah, there's a couple delays on the feed. I had to switch back to the other audio and stuff, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. And then like the Edmonton audio was way out of sync with the video there. It was weird, but
I watched WHL live and there was no problems on my end, so I didn't have to switch or anything like that. So got to hear the golden tones of Dante DeCaria.
Yeah, And he had a color guy, Ryan Reed, I think it was.
Yeah, Ryan Reed.
Yeah,
he was on a game. He was in a game, or he was at a game last year when they were in Lethbridge.
With Lethbridge, okay.
Yeah, he's a journalism student or a broadcasting student out in Alberta there somewhere. And he reached out to Dante, and Dante said, "Hey, sure, why not?"
Yeah, no, that's good. It's always nice to have a color guy. And
it's
with not. I don't know if he knows the team that well, but he did good, I thought. Like,
yeah, he follows the Oil Kings and stuff like that, so he's not new to the league, or he actually follows the league, not like some people that are involved with broadcasts and stuff that watch a couple games here and there, and they're the quote unquote experts.
Yeah, no, he
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
People out there probably know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but yeah, he did a good job for not obviously knowing the team that well, right, and stuff like that. So
he knew when to interject and stuff like that. It wasn't like he was pausing at random times because he didn't know what to say. He had stuff to say all the time. He just kind of had some incomplete stuff. General stuff.
Yeah,
it turned out good. He sounded good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And they had an interview. Dante had an interview with Spencer Welke. I think it was.
That audio was so bad.
Yeah, the audio was real bad. But that's a guy that, next time they're in Calgary, I bet you if he's not playing, he's back on.
Good.
He's a really good color guy. Yeah.
If I didn't know he played for the Pats, or he was 20 years old or 21 years old last year, I would never have guessed it was just a guy right out of junior hockey. He sounded like almost like a professional.
Yeah, he sounds like a.
So if he's listening to this, he's awesome. Hopefully he decides to go into it and even do some color commentary wherever.
Yeah. I think we've shouted him out the last couple of years and that he's done it, right? Like
he's so good.
Real good, yeah. And so Dante had him on because the scholarship package kind of numbers came out, and he's obviously one of the guys that is using his scholarship package, and he's playing at SAIT and still playing some hockey there too. So
yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I don't know what Dante recorded that on, but holy man, that was hard to listen to. I could hardly hear Welke, and it had like a weird buzz. You could hear Dante.
It was bad.
Dante, what did you do?
I don't know. Yeah, that's the recording. Like trying to record phone calls, it's tough. Like I had an issue with one of my phone interviews. It recorded, but there was no audio on it, so I lost the whole interview. It
quote unquote recorded.
Yeah, there was a file there, and it was it
recorded nothing.
But it recorded silence, so that was real unfortunate. But yeah, so I don't know what happened there. I mean, you kind of got the gist of the interview, but can't wait kind of to hear Spencer again if he's able to do color when Don's
I hope
back
he is.
Calgary.
I hope they can get him. He was great.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's about all we need for this week. I think
the Pats have got to do something about the road games because they're 2-10 on the road. They're 8-4, 1-1 at home. Like it's night and day.
Yeah.
They have one more road game before they come back home in Brandon on Friday.
That's winnable.
Nothing's winnable right now. The way things are going, nothing is winnable. But there's a chance.
Yeah, like
when you score 2, you don't win many games.
No,
so
right. We thought Edmonton was winnable, and they found a way to lose that game. Like they snatched the.
Both games against Edmonton should have been quote unquote winnable because Edmonton's the lowest ranked team. But like I keep on saying, that's why they play the games.
Yeah.
And Dante's mentioned on the radio because I've said it to him 1,000 times.
Nothing's given in this league, right? Like we keep
Definitely
talking parity, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, like both these games, Swift Current here, like you got to have a little better showing.
Especially teddy bear toss.
Yeah, that too. So there's
for those listening, and you go to the game, bring your teddy bears.
That's right. Yeah. And there's multiple teddy bear toss goal scorers on this team. The new guy, Pescott, has 1 in his career, and Howe has the last 2 for the Pats.
Yeah, so
maybe make it a hat trick.
Yeah, I was like, just make it 3. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Right? That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know how many other guys have scored 3, especially for one team.
Not many guys have scored 2.
Pavel Padakin has 3.
He has
2 with Calgary, 1 here. So
yeah, but even to have 2, I don't think there's many guys out there with 2.
Grant Jacobson has 2 for the Pats.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, not back to back though.
No. I think we talked about that after last year, after how getting 2, right? So
Yeah.
but,
So
yeah,
it should be interesting. They gotta do something. They gotta get the hometown mojo going. If they can continue winning at home, that's better than nothing. But get that, keep that going, and then figure out what's going on on the road, and hopefully they have a good week of practice and go into Brandon and smoke them off.
yeah, right. You need at least 3 points this weekend. Would be
Oh,
would
yeah.
be real nice.
Yeah. Because if they go 0 for this weekend, maybe it's time to make some big time moves.
Yeah, you lose another two games in a row here. That'd be 7 in a row, right? Like that's not pretty.
No.
And you're already at the bottom. Basically, you're ahead of Edmonton. Yeah, but like I said, they've played 26 games. Calgary's only played 22. Red Deer's only played 22. And Swift Current's only played 23, and that's the 3 teams ahead of you, right? Yeah. So you got to wait for them to catch up, and now they're going to pull even further ahead of you than they are right now, right? So
yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be tough. The Pats have played quite a few games this part of the season already. You need to see something this weekend, see some life, right?
Just get some points, get a couple dubs. At least 1 dub, get some points.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, right? So, but yeah, let's get out of here. I think that's enough for this week, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, see you at the game on Saturday. Bring your teddy bears, and hopefully we see a win. That's all that matters, right?
All that matters. Take it easy out there.